All right, hey guys. So this is the performance final review. Um, and so what we're going to do is we're going to go over all of the different AKS. For your performance final, though, you do only have to pick 2 out of the 3 questions. If you want to do all 3, that's fine, but your teacher's going to take the best 2 out of the 3. So keep that in mind. It is going to be May 4th, so that is Monday. I can write May 4th, it's fine. So keep that in mind. It is going to be open all day. You do have to send a picture of this. You can work it on a piece of paper. Please make sure that you number your paper. Like if you're going to do AKS 17, that's fine. Write that down, please. Otherwise, we're just guessing, and that's not really fair to us either. So, in this problem, it says Jemiah and Janae are selling smartphones, iPhones, and Androids. The X represents the number of iPhones sold. So X is the iPhones, and the Y is the Androids. Go team Android. Don't make fun of me. It's fine. Okay. The graph below represents the solution to a linear programming problem. So here are the constraints. Okay, so this is saying that X is the number of iPhones is greater than 0. Okay, because obviously, like we can't have negative iPhones. Y is greater than 0. Again, can't have negative Androids, despite what y'all feel. And then Y is bigger than or equal to 4. So that means they sold at least 4. And then there's this equation or inequality that's kind of important. And then there's Y is less than or equal to 10. So that means that the number of Androids are less than or equal to 10. Okay, so it says, explain in words what these 5 constraints mean in terms of Jemiah and Janae's plan for selling smartphones. So that means this one, they cannot have negative iPhones. And same thing for this one, except it's going to be Android. Okay, and then this one says that they had sold at least 4 Androids. Okay, this one right here says that if you add up your Androids and iPhones, they sold up to 12 combined. Okay, so between the iPhones and the Androids, they sold 12 at least, or at most 12. Okay, and then this one right here, they sold less than or equal to, and it does have that line underneath, so equal to 10 Androids. And that's what this says. Okay, and again, you can write that in prettier terms, or you can just say just summary. That's fine too. Okay. On the next problem, it says suppose the profit for the iPhones is 200 and the profit for the Android is 160. Write the objective function where the total profit for Jemiah and Janae is represented by P of J plus J. All right, so we've got P of J plus J. All right, remember, iPhones were X and Androids were Y. So when I write this function, I'm going to say 200 times X because it says that each iPhone is $200. And then Androids are 160, 160Y. Okay, so that's how you write the objective function. And then it says Jemiah's goal for the week is to sell 2 iPhones and 6 Androids. So 2 iPhones and 6 Androids. Cool. And that's Jemiah. And then Janae goal for the week is to sell 4 iPhones and 5 Androids. Which goal will profit more? Okay, so remember, keeping in mind the fact that you've got $200 for an iPhone and then $160 for the Android. So we're going to plug both of those in for X and Y. Okay, so 2 times 200 plus 6 times 160. And we're going to plug that into our calculator. So we're going to go calculator. So 2 times 200 plus 6 times 160. And that's going to give us 1360. Okay, same thing's going to happen down here. So we're saying that all of your iPhones are $200 and then they sold 4 of them, right? So 4 times 200, and then Androids are 160, so 5 times 160. I'm going to go into my calculator, and I'm going to type 4 times 200 plus 5 times 160, and that'll give me 1,600. So which goal would make more profit? Janae would make more profit. And then, would it make sense to have a negative number? No, it would not. And why is that? Because we can't have negative money. We can't have negative phones. Because no negative money or phones. Because that means that they would be owing it. Like, that negative number would be like if you broke an iPhone. That would suck. But that's the case. Alright? Alright, 51. So this is talking about logs and inverses of logs. One thing I want you to keep in mind when you're doing this is exponential to log are the inverses. So, for instance, if I have 10 to the x equals y, I'm going to put that into log form, right? So I'm going to start at my base, go to the outside, and finish at the exponent. Okay, so that'll be log of 10 of y equals x. Your teacher might have used something else, but this is how I do it. And again, if you were going from log to exponential, then you would start at the base, go to the outside, finish here, so 10 to the x equals y. Okay, and that's the thought process that we're going to use. Okay, on your performance final, I highly suggest that you understand the inverse ln to e. You need to look up this thought, okay, or this concept. All right, but we're going to work through this problem. So this is the original problem right here, okay? And when we're finding the inverses, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to switch our x and y. Okay, so we're going to switch our x and our y. So we're going to rewrite this as x equals log of 2 of x plus, or y plus 5. I already messed up there. Y plus 5 minus 9. Okay, so that's step 1. We're going to switch our x and our y. Okay, step 2, we're going to bring this 9 to the other side. So we're going to add the 9 to the other side, which is exactly what they did right here. So that was step 2, and they've already done it for us. Awesome, fantastic. Now, I'm going to use a different color. We're going to actually do this whole concept of inverses. Okay, so we're going to start at our base, going to go to the outside, and finish over here. Okay, so I call this the circle of life for my kiddos. So we're going to start at the base, so 2. We're going to go to the outside, which is x plus 9, and then we're going to set that equal to y plus 5, and that's going to be step 3. Now, we want to get y by itself over here, so we're going to subtract 5 from both sides, and that is how they got their final answer. Okay? So when you do this, remember your performance final is you explaining step by step. Now, obviously, I put this into words, but I would want you to actually write out, hey, I switched the x and the y, I added 9 to both sides, and then I subtracted 5. Make sure, subtracted 5. Make sure that you're actually writing out what you're doing in this problem, okay? And it doesn't have to necessarily be like a long paragraph, but it needs to be detailed enough that you could like show it to a friend and they would understand what you're talking about. All right, so one correction that I want to make on this one, I want you to get rid of this problem. You're not going to have to worry about this. Okay? And then I also want you to change this part to get rid of that like underline under here. So just make it less than and greater than. Okay? So no line, no equal to. Okay? So normal distribution. With normal distribution, remember the mean happens in the middle. Okay, so we got this mean right here. Okay, and then, okay, so what you're going to do on this is you're going to find where x plus the sigma, okay, so that would be right here, right? Okay, and it wants it greater than that. Okay, so greater than that, So that would be the stuff that's over here. Okay, I know I'm like the worst drawer on the face of this planet. I apologize. So we're saying that on our normal distribution, okay, we're wanting everything that's above that first standard deviation. So we want the second plus the third. So if you know your second standard deviation is going to be that 13.5% in between there, and then this one right here is going to be 2.35, and then this one's going to be 0.15. And so if we add all of that together, we go into our calculator and we say 13.5 plus 2.35 plus 1.15, and that's going to give us 16. So it's going to be 16%. Okay, so over here, it is 2 standard deviations above, and we want everything that's below that. All right, so I'm going to draw a better normal distribution curve because, you know. Okay, so got a normal distribution curve. And we got 1 standard deviation away, standard deviation away, and then we got 2 standard deviations away. That's crazy, right? No, just me. Oh, nope. Okay. So now what you're going to do is it wants everything that's below the 2 standard deviations above. So we hit right here, and that's x plus the 2 standard deviations, right? And so now we want all this mess that's over here. So we've got 13.5 right here, 34 right here, 34 right here, 13.5, 2.35, and 0.15. So I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to type 13.5 plus 34 plus 34 plus 13.5 plus 2.35 plus 1.15. I always mess that one up. And that gives us 97.5%. Okay, this one's a little tricky, and if you need some more practice, I know there's a Khan Academy video up that you can look at. Okay, so last little bit, give the percent of the area under the normal curve represented by the shaded region. So basically you're just adding up the different percentages. So right here, this is going to be 34% in this blue region. Over here, it's going to be 2.35. This is going to be 13.5. This is going to be 0.15. So I'm going to go into my calculator, and I'm going to type 2.35 plus 34 plus 13.5 plus 0.15. And that's going to give me 50%. And as you notice, like this is half of the region that is already shaded, right? All right. Over on this one, again, same concept. We're going to find the percentages and then we're going to add them up. So this will be 13.5 plus 2.35 plus 2.35 plus 0.15. So I'm going to go to my calculator, and I'm going to say 0.15 plus 2.35 plus 13.5 plus 2.35. When I add that together, I get 18.35. Okay, so I would sit down and I would work through these problems. I would decide before you open the document. So I'm going to make like a little to-do for you. Okay, so I would sit down, do the performance final review. Okay, and once you've done the review, decide which one was probably the easiest to learn. Okay, so pick 2 out of the 3 problems to learn. So you're either doing AKS 17, 18. I can write 18, it's fine. AKS 51 or AKS 24. So pick 2 of those, and then go like review or ask questions. I know I'm doing a live session today at 6. I know Mr. Jones is doing one at noon. So like just decide which one you want to do before you go into it. Okay. If you want to do all 3, I would highly suggest that, especially if you didn't do too hot on AKS 51 or if you didn't do too hot on AKS 17. We haven't taken AKS 24 yet, but some of y'all are doing pretty well on that. So just keep that in mind. Let me know if you have any questions though, and good luck on Monday.